Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video I wanted to show a couple more examples of the ocean results that we can achieve using our system, and these are some test renders that Igor did, and it includes testing the ocean setup, the ocean deformation, as well as the shading and the trick for creating the coloration here. So let's go over some examples. And again, it's very hard to get the level of details needed that holds up for various camera angles, and this is testing that as well. So here we're very close to the ship, and then we're wide. You can see we're still getting all kind of a nice detail. You can see these white spots, the spots where the noise or the bump is varying. And again, we're not changing the colors, we're changing the bump or the displacement, and that's going to affect the reflection. And then we have this green coloring for the refraction. And then these were done with Mantra, and these were done with Redshift. So some tests with motion blur on, and some tests with motion with fog in the render. And I do believe that I mean, this scene is not realistic, because if you have this foggy environment, you won't be getting some nice reflection here. You will get very uniform reflection. The ships are also reflecting. Sorry, the ship reflection is stretching too long, and I don't think that's realistic. It needs to break up and stop very, very quickly. So the waves and the pattern needs to be fixed. This one as well. This is another test. You can see how it holds up pretty well for various angles. And this is a test with the with some environment added. Just placed some rocks here and some fog. And this is another one close up. So I was trying to see how the details will hold up from various different angles, and I think it's working pretty well. And so these are some of the still images. And compositing is a crucial aspect of getting the right look, so we're going to talk a lot about that as well. And here I'm using the ASUS workflow for rendering, which is very, very important to get realistic reflection and nice highlights. This is a quick comp or a quick render with static ships, and the reason I use these ships is not is to convey the scale, because if we look at ocean bay itself, it's very hard, especially if we don't see the horizon line, it's very hard for us to understand where we are at, and that's why we get motion sickness. It's because we don't understand where we are in space, and because the horizon line changes and rotates, that disrupts our perception. So this is a render with some compositing, daylight using an HDR. And these are some other test renders. And here I'm testing the ship, the waves speed. So you can see I have large waves, I have mid waves, and I have very fine waves. Actually, there's one image that I wanted to show. Oh, 1 second. So I have two more. So I wanted to show the layers. And almost done. Sorry about that. Okay. So these are some more images that I forgot to put in. And you can see here I have mid waves. Big waves, mid waves, and the details. We're getting a lot of fine details. You can see them here. And let's do this. Another test as well, very close to the ocean surface. This is another one with the environment. I don't have the high-res maps, so this is only the large and mid. And that's the idea. We want to layer multiple things. Each one is going to add complexity, and each one is going to make the ocean hold up for a specific level. And this is very close to the ocean, so I'm actually on top of the ocean, but it's hard to tell because of the perspective. But we're almost on top of the ocean surface, and you can see how much details we're getting. This is another one. I was testing some shading, and this is another one to show the displacement as well. So let's continue. One. So the same environment, same scene, same everything. I just did some color correction, and maybe the blue here is oversaturated, so not so great. And this is, again, was just compositing. So these two renders, I need to close that are just based on compositing. So color correction and comp. You can see we're getting from daylight almost to sunset. And I really like this one a lot better. I don't know why. I don't know why this one feels more realistic. But this one is also, everything is the same. It's just the way we perceive colors, I guess. Let's see, I have two more. And we're going to talk about this environment creation. And what I really wanted to do is to just have some cliffs in here, have some nice fog and all. And then I started messing around with the environment, so I made this triangle, and then I said, okay, why not add some, make this green, or give it a different color to get some nice reflection in the environment. That's all. I didn't have any specific idea. And this one has a lot of compositing in it. And you can see this haze or this darkening. It's not realistic. I can tell you that this edge, this part here, is not very realistic. It shouldn't be this dark. But I made it this dark in this image, and it helps sell the scale, and it looks realistic. It fits in, even though it's not 100% physically accurate. So this is the last one with the ocean, the cliff scene. And you can see the peaks here. You can also see a lot of variation in the waves colors. Maybe it's too much, but we'll show all the techniques, and then you should be able to create any kind of effects you want. You can see here, this area, for example, doesn't have as much reflection as this one, so we're getting a chance to see a lot of refraction. And again, if we don't have reflection, if we have 100% reflective and 100% refractive, the BRDF, the energy conservation, is going to give us the right input. So it's going to give us 50-50 basically, so reflective and refractive, and the reflection is always more dominant based on the angle. So that's why it's more visible here. But all this has reflection as well. And in this area, we're just seeing more of that refraction and less reflection. So, and the ships, there's nothing special here. It's just a movement and a cloth sim using vellum. And then the shader is just a diffuse with textures.